All right, great. Okay, so how are you guys doing so far with DECA and implementation into your curriculum and your classes? We doing okay?
Good evening. My name is Shanta. This is my first year as an advisor for Dearborn Beach High School. This is actually the first official meeting, so I'm trying to get clarity in how to implement the DECA program into my curriculum and how to get the materials to prep for competitions.
Okay, great. So we will definitely get into that. We're gonna first start talking about membership and how to upload your membership appropriately to to National DECA. We'll talk about the membership fees. There are fees assessed, $6 and $8 for the state and the national dues, and then you need to talk to your district advisors to find out if there is a district fee that is charged as well. So then what I would suggest you do is determine if you're going to get the kids a shirt or if you're going to get them a polo. A lot of the competitions and the conferences like Envision are asking that they wear a polo, their chapter polo. So this year we're going from a t-shirt to a polo. So I kind of embed that cost into our membership. So I charge our students $30, six for six for state, 8 for nationals, $1 for district, and then the $15 is going straight to the polo. That doesn't give us any extra money for anything, but we try to do a lot of fundraising through our school store to offset any additional costs. I'm going to share my screen real quick. You can go into DECA.org and you can search for the website to get into the DECA membership, but it's here. I'm going to copy this and paste it into an email and send that email out tomorrow morning with a recap of today's meeting so that you guys can access it quickly. But I already have it open if this will stop jumping around a bit so I can get to it. This is what the DECA membership system is going to look like. You should have a chapter ID once you apply for your chapter. This should be sent out to you. You can set your own password up with it. You'll log in. And we briefly talked the last time. I don't know why we have that. We briefly talked the last time about graduating your seniors. So if you're a chapter that is coming back and you had students last year, there's an easy way to graduate your seniors. And then once you graduate your seniors, it leaves all of your underclassmen that are returning this year. And today I ran into a slight problem with trying to delete some of those students out because they didn't return back to us. And I finally figured out how to do it. So I'd kind of like to share that with you really quick. But as you can see here, I've already graduated my seniors, and these are my students that I have left over from last year's membership. Not all of them are returning to the program. Like Gabriel Bruce is not returning to the program this year due to scheduling conflicts. So I need to remove her from my list that's still here. The DECA book, did you guys get one of these yet? Came in a
No,
box.
I haven't. No, I didn't receive a box.
You
No,
haven't?
I haven't received my box either.
Okay, so there will be another link that I'll send out to you that shows the instructions that are in on page 8 and 9. So if you have the book on page 8 and 9, it gives you detailed instructions about how to do the membership. So if you follow the detailed instructions exactly how they're written, then you shouldn't have too many difficulties. Me, of course, I'm seasoned, so I think I know everything, which I found out that I didn't. So I had to resort back to this. And what it tells you to do is just continue to go where it has the red. So when I come in here I have the option of deleting any of these alumni members. I've gone through and I've deleted most of the alumni members out that I don't want to pay for because I know that they're not coming back to the program to help in any way. I'm going to go ahead and show you, just click on the X. It asks, are you sure you want to delete it? You just confirm, yes, I want to delete it, and it takes it away. When you're done with that, and my computer is lagging. Sorry. When you're done with that, and after you've graduated all your seniors, then you're going to say yes, that you've graduated everybody that you needed to. Again, it's lagging. And then you'll come up with this edit student. So if you click on edit students, and again, you have to do this all in order, because if you jump and you upload and submit, you're going to submit all of these kids and you may not want to submit all of them because they're not coming back. So I said that Gabrielle is not coming back. So I want to drop her from this list. So I just simply click drop and confirm, and it will remove Gabrielle from the list. I also want to drop Livette. She's not coming back either. And then I can narrow it down. This saves you guys a lot of time, because now that you've gone into this list, you can change their grade level, and you don't have to input their first, their last name, their grade level, their race, and all of the other factors. When you're done with all of this, you can do a bulk grade roll forward. When you click on that, it takes all of their grade levels and it forwards it over to the next year. So Emily last year was a sophomore. She's now a junior. When I confirm this, see how it automatically changed her to a junior status? So again, it's saving me time. I don't have to go back in, and then I'll just go down each one of these and, keep or get rid of, depending upon what my roster is this year. So Max Carr, not coming back. Colin Candace, I already know, not coming back. So confirming and dropping as I go down through. Georgiana, not coming back. So as I continue on down, who am I keeping? Who am I getting rid of? And as you can see, I have a lot to go through. So I'm actually going to probably stop right there, because I don't want to take all of this time to go through all of my members from last year, deleting them and take up that much time. But you just continue to just go through. And some of you guys might need to refer to a list. That's fine. But that's a simple way of doing it. When you're done with all of this, going down through, then you'll submit it, and then you'll start adding your new members. So I know I ran through that really quickly. Any questions, concerns? No, we're all good?
Yes, I did have a question. I'm sorry to be the one with all the questions, but I did have a question about the DECA membership. Do they have to be part of your class roster, or
No,
can
they
they? Okay, they don't have to. Okay,
No, they
thank you.
do not have to. For years, I kept them as you had to be in my marketing classes for you to be a member of DECA, just because I wanted that control. But a couple of years ago, they stopped that requirement, and you can allow anybody into the DECA organization that you see fit. We expanded this year to include all business classes. So I'm going to have a lot more members that are not directly involved with me. but we'll be able to, I have a second advisor that's going to help me out with that.
Thank you.
Sorry, my children are leaving and my dog is going to bark for a couple of minutes.
It's fine. I have a toddler.
My dog is the toddler. Okay, so, oh Lord. So any other questions on membership and how to successfully put them in? No, I guess, yes, go ahead. I think somebody was trying to talk, but with the toddler barking in the backyard.
I got a question. So everybody that signed, we have 45 students that want to be in our DECA club.
Okay,
We've just still getting kids to sign up, and we're gonna have our first meeting in October.
okay.
Do they have to be paid members in order for me to put them in as membership on the
I would
national
have them paid members, because when you put them into DECA Inc., they're gonna send you an invoice for their membership fees. And unless you have a bank of money there, you're gonna have to pay for them regardless of if they paid for your membership or not to you, because you have submitted them as members to DECA.
And I jumped in, I'm sorry, I jumped in as you were going through the membership thing. You said it's on page 8 now, and I got the box and I got the booklet. So I just haven't had a chance to go through it. We got it yesterday.
Right.
But page 8 and 9 is where I go to find out how to enroll everybody into DECA and get us all
Mhm.
set.
And your first year, you said?
Yes, we're a first year.
Okay,
Okay.
so with the
Can't be
first year,
Catholic.
you're not gonna have to graduate any students from last year to have any alumni, so that's what I did first. So you're not gonna worry about that. You'll come log into the membership and you'll just start from scratch. What I'm doing here is these are leftover kids from last year that returned to the program. So they're already in the database. And I'm going through and I'm looking and seeing, okay, who definitely came back, who did not. Like Bianca did not come back, so I'm dropping her because I don't want to pay for her if she's not going to be a part of this. I also did an automatic rollover of their grades. So they were 10th, Emily was 10th grade last year, she's 11th grade, so they have a really cute function that you can just click on it and it rolls their grade level over to the current year for you, so you don't have to go in and make all those edits. So this has come a long way. It used to be that you had to input every single kid every single year, and it got a little tedious. So they've cleaned this up a bit and it works out a lot better.
So my business class last year wanted to do DECA. And we
Okay,
just basically just did it as an after school kind of get together. We had speakers come in last year, but we really didn't join the national or district. We just kind of like just saw who was interested. We had like 6, 8 kids that did it, 5 of which graduated, 3 returned. Can
okay.
I call those 3 returning as having already been 1 year, or do they need to just
Yeah,
all
well,
start new?
they didn't compete in anything.
No.
They're technically a second year DECA member, but since you didn't register at all with National DECA, they would be a first year.
Okay, so I'll just register them all as first year.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's first year to the program. It wouldn't make any sense to say, oh, I have a second year, and they're like, but you've never had a program before. It might get kind of confusing. As you're asking me questions, I'm going to continue to go through and drop kids to try and get us to that point, that like the next point, so I can show you instead of waiting another month to what the next step is.
Hello, good evening. I have a question.
Yes.
I was trying to get on the Zoom on my computer, but when I click the link, it's not working, so I had to dial in. I'm not sure if you're showing stuff on your screen, but if you were, I would want to see it. Is there a way that I can get in like on the computer through the link?
Did it say that I didn't admit you?
I'm not sure when I click it, it just takes me to the Zoom page and then nothing happens. And then I click like try to connect and then it just nothing happens.
Okay. Would you mind trying again? And I can tell you that we are recording this, so we'll
Oh,
send that recording link out tomorrow. So if you can't get in
oh,
on the
okay.
computer, all of this will be there tomorrow for you.
Okay, I'll try on my end, but if not, then I'll just wait for the recording.
Okay. I'm sorry about
Thank you.
that.
No problem. Thank you.
Does anybody have any suggestions for her of how to bypass that? I'm a Teams girl, but they do everything on Zoom, so I'm kind of learning Zoom at the same time of doing all of this. So I don't know any secret decoder backways and past that when it doesn't work.
Yeah, I'm new to DECA. Is like I'm a new advisor, so I'm not sure if it's maybe because I wasn't added yet. But
Oh, no, the
Mhm.
link should have worked for you regardless of if you're new or not.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll try. If anything, I'll just see the recording tomorrow.
I have some questions, I think general questions. My name's Stephanie Amadon and I'm in North Florida in the Panhandle. And we don't have any other competition, I guess, any other DECA chapters within almost a 3-hour drive from us. And so I've been trying to figure things out with my district coordinator, who's been extremely helpful. And I think she's basically saying, since none of us are in a close proximity for our district or regional competition, everybody is only limited to doing the 100 multiple choice test questions to determine who moves on from our district level in December, I guess, to the state level in March. And she's talking about all of these different principal events and the individual events and the group events and 20-page papers. And since I don't have my box yet, I just am very overwhelmed and confused about, honestly, some of the DECA vocabulary, for I guess lack of a better word. And I'm not understanding what all she's really talking about. So there, I guess the 7 DECA principles or pillars, the 2 business, entrepreneurship, finance, those things. So do all of my students then, and we too, I put it in the chat, we're running it this year as we're first year, and we're not doing it as a class. We're doing it, our school has competitive academic teams like Moy Alpha Theta and, Latin and Cretamen and all of that good stuff. So we're doing it in that format. And so I have just basically told the students, you need to pick one of these pillars that you want to focus on. Yes, we'll have our monthly meetings, but a lot of this is self-motivated, self-driven. I've shown them on DECA Plus, the practice tests, the videos, the flashcards, some of those kind of resources. But I think they keep looking at me for more resources and more stuff. But I'm like, I'm not a business teacher. I'm not a marketing teacher. I'm not, I teach AP government and AP economics. Like I don't have an expertise in any of this stuff. And we don't offer those at our school, but the kids wanted, a group of students got together to propose that we have DECA, and we've had an overwhelming response to it. But I'm just very confused on what this year is going to look like in terms of tests and progression and qualifying. And, I'm very confused.
Okay, yes, it's extremely overwhelming. I'm gonna put you on pause for just a second. I'm gonna finish up with the membership and then we'll talk about competition because that seems to be what everybody wants clarification on. So
Thank you.
going back to this real quick with the membership, I've gone down through and I have dropped all of the kids that are not coming back, or I thought I did. Okay. So I've dropped all the kids that are not coming back, not going to be a part of this, and I need to go ahead and do my bulk upload. So when you scroll all the way down to the bottom here, I just click bulk edit complete. I've changed their, rolled over their grades, levels. I've dropped everybody. I click bulk edit complete. I'm finished with it. Yes. And then this should save it. And then it also gives me the opportunity again to go down through and delete anybody that I may have missed. So tomorrow I'll go down through and I'll take some time and I'll really, like Sebastian, yeah, he's not coming back. I missed him. And I'll delete all of those. Once I delete the ones that have been selected, when I hit submit membership, it locks it. So I can't make any more changes to these kids. I need to call somebody to make changes to these kids. So make sure that if you are uploading from last year, you're using what was in the database and you're just forwarding that on, make sure that it's correct before you hit submit membership. And I'm not going to do that right now because I just caught 2 errors. Once I hit submit membership, I can add students. If I wanted to, I could add students now. And you fill in all of their information. And then at the end, save, add next member. And then once you're done with that, you'll click submit membership. It'll produce an invoice that you can then put with your purchase order and you can take it to your bookkeeper to have them pay it. But just to recap with the one question that we had about payment for membership, I would collect money for membership from all students before you submit them on the DECA membership system, because once you submit them on here, you owe that money for that kid. As a side note, when you submit this and you have that invoice and you owe DECA money, you owe Florida DECA money too. Until that invoice is paid, you are not going to be able to register for any competition. That's something new that we've put in place this year as a board of advisors, simply because we have had chapters in the past that have not paid their membership, but have registered for competitive events. And we just don't think that that's fair, because DECA will get their money, but they're not going to collect for Florida. So then we're in the hole. So please make sure that you do your membership. My deadline is Wednesday of next week for them to pay their membership fees. I will be cutting the check on Friday and sending it off. You can continue to add members. Let's say Johnny Joe was out for the first 4 weeks of school for whatever reason, and he's like, no, I want to be part of DECA. You can get back into this, add Johnny Joe, submit his membership, and an invoice for just Johnny Joe will be sent to you. Print that off, put it with the purchase order, and get that paid. So that's pretty much it for membership and payment. Do you guys have any questions?
Yep. Laura, I'm sorry I'm late to the party. I'm so happy though I actually remembered to come. What is it? Is it they when you pay through DECA, then they give their part, your part to Florida, right? I don't pay separate.
Right. You don't
Okay.
pay Florida DECA. When you pay National DECA, they will take out their fee for them, and then they will send Florida's fee to
Right.
Florida.
Was it 14? Is it $14? What is it? I don't remember.
Yeah, it's $14.
14. Okay, perfect. All
And
right.
then each district may assess an additional membership fee. I know that District 4, we talked about it. I don't think we're assessing an additional fee. We will be charging for district competition, but we're not assessing a district membership fee
Okay.
at
All
this
right.
time.
Thank you. Sorry.
Okay, so District 1 might have the $6 for state, 8 for nationals, and they might add another 5 for the district. That district fee you send in directly to your district. You don't
Right.
send it to Florida DECA. You don't send it to National DECA. You'll send it to your district advisor. So please check with your district advisors how they are handling membership. Each district does it differently. Okay?
Mhm.
So are we good on membership?
No, I have a question. I'm late to the party as well. I'd like to know what the fee is for national and state. And I know that you will pay state. National will pay state. I just heard that. So how much
A
do I?
total of $14.
Oh,
So
it's all-
6 and 8.
It's only $14?
Yeah,
That's it?
yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Like I said, some districts may have an additional membership fee for the district, and they may charge something in addition to the $6 for the state. I'm sorry, yeah, 6 for the state and 8 for nationals.
Okay, so I can send you, well, send nationals the $14 when
Right.
I create my PO and the students pay. I can send it directly to DECA, and then I can cut the district a separate check.
Right. So I'm gonna see if I can get into my invoice history here. Oh, it's showing nothing. All right. So like last year, I had let me go down to last year. So last year with my high school membership in 2023, when I started off, you can see all of these different invoices that came out. It's because I put in and started with 2 students, and then for me, oh, I'm sorry, let me go down to actually in November. So in November, I submitted so many students and I thought that I was done. But then I was like, oh no, I have a whole new group of students that wanted to join. So I got a second invoice. And then I had a late arrival. So you see how each time after you hit submit membership, it's going to generate a new invoice for you. And then that invoice, you're going to print out attached to your PO.
When is the deadline for payment?
For nationals, it is November 15th. I always do November 1st so that it has time to, snail mail it to them. Now,
Thank you.
if you complete your membership and you upload members by September 30th, then they give you like a little kickback of money off of your DECA Plus, but Florida DECA pays for that for you. So then they give you a downloadable competitive materials for a specific event, just as an incentive, like a giveaway. Oh, you did it. So here you go. Have some more competitive event information.
Okay, and that's September 30th.
Yes.
And to have access to DECA Plus, for everybody, is there a deadline? Because last year was my first year. So I got in around November, like that's when I learned that I was going to have this club.
Right.
So I remember at some meeting, they said that we could get DECA Plus for the entire class if we paid by a certain day. Is that true this year as well?
I think Florida DECA is just going to go ahead and provide it for every chapter that they have in the state. But I would go ahead and submit your application. So you had it last year. So you're a returning chapter. So you should already be in the system, and they should have already sent you an email with your DECA Plus credentials. Is that correct? You were a chapter last year. You paid membership fees last year. Did I lose her?
So Laura, I'll get access to DECA Plus once I pay for membership.
Yes, because you were inactive last year.
Right. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yes, I'm sorry that there's a delay. But yes, I did have DECA Plus last year.
Okay, so then an email should have been sent to you with your new credentials for this school year. So I would search your email that you used last year for registration and just type in, search DECA Plus and see if it's there. If it's not, then let me know and we'll figure it out for you. What school are you with?
Dr. Michael Crop Senior High.
And what district do you know?
Miami-Dade County. District 10.
Great. All right, so I made a note that you need your DECA Plus info. But I would scan your email and see if you've received an email from DECA Plus with your credentials, because that's how it came to me.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Any other questions on membership? As you have questions, please, please, please do not hesitate to send me a quick email and ask your question. Don't wait another month if you have a question to ask it. Just send me a quick email and I'll find the answer to you and I'll send it back to you. And my email is the laura.dowd@ocps.net. It's it's who sent you the invite to today's meeting. Okay, so the next thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about is Team 67, and they have created an annual business plan for both chapters and for individuals. If you go into Florida DECA and you go up into Florida DECA ABPs, you'll see there's two of them here. There's the CBP and the PBP. The CBP is for the chapter and the PBP is for personal. It's for individuals. When you click on these, it'll give you this great little booklet that you can flip through. So for the chapter, as you flip through, it gives you all the information about the chapter business plan. It tells you how you submit it. It gives you past submissions that you can use the QR code to see what other chapters have submitted in the past. And then as you go through, it tells you if you want gold or diamond status, the must-do requirements. You see the must-do tasks over here. You got to do all three for each one of those. And the three are to attend 5 CFF calls with at least one member from August to January. CFF calls, the times and the schedule was emailed out to you. If you don't have that, let me know and I'll email those dates and times back out again. And you just simply ask one of your students. I usually ask my president of the chapter to please attend that meeting so that we have credit for attending. Now, last night was a CFF call. None of my members attended. And I know this because one of my members is the District 4 vice president. So I was very, very not happy this morning because that shows you're not supporting the initiatives of DECA, the organization you're with, and you're also not supporting your peer for your district. So they got a really serious tongue lashing this morning. So I'm sure that a lot of District 4, especially from Dr. Phillips, are going to show up at that next call. But the calls are about 30 to 45 minutes. They have breakout sessions. They talk to them about competition. They give them insight about DECA. It gets them excited. And then they come and ask you a bunch of questions. We have our meeting the day after CFF every single month, because I know they're coming to you guys with questions. So we have our meeting so that I can answer those questions for you. So don't feel bad if your kid comes and asks you a question you have no clue. Just say, I'll find out tonight, and then join the meeting and we'll help you out. But you can go through at your leisure this entire booklet of different tasks that you can do, how to earn points, and how to submit it if you decide that you want to do the chapter business plan. As I said, it also has it this year, something new, for each individual, because chapters do this, but it seems to be like the same kids are doing all of these activities to get the chapter recognition. They want it to give students recognition too with what they do. So they created this personal business plan, and it's pretty intense, but your students can go through this and they can select different things that they would like to do, which level of achievement. All of this needs to be done by January 17th. January 17th. Whichever level they've completed, make sure that everything has been uploaded and submitted, and then they will be recognized probably at the state competitive level. So again, just wanted to bring this to your attention. Read it at your leisure. It's on the floridadeca.org website under Florida DECA officers, under the Florida DECA ABPS Team 67.
I have a question about the phone calls that the student leadership can participate in, like you were just referring to.
Yes.
One of my girls, of course, she conveniently forgot about last night's, but she was on the one the month before and was telling me about some kind of DECA community service or something. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, each
Is
one.
that something that's required, that each club do community service as well as part of DECA?
Okay, so it used to be called Helping Hands. It's also here too. And if you go into the Helping Hands collection,
Okay.
oh, great. So this year, you can read all about that, but this year, wow, this is 55. Okay, that needs to be updated. Oops.
And that's the Florida DECA? Okay.
Yeah, so this tells all about the history of Helping Hands, but this year the DECA officers have decided that instead of using one organization and having everything brought to state competition to be delivered, they have asked that each district choose an organization
Okay.
that they're going to support in their area. So
Okay.
like for District 4, Goodwill was selected. So we'll be doing some collection drives for Goodwill, and then taking them into our local Goodwill chapters or Goodwill stations and donating them.
Okay.
Your district may do something with, I don't know, SPCF
Right.
or PCS with collecting dog and cat food.
Right.
So
So is
check
that
with
something
your
our
district.
district coordinator should be letting us know about?
Your district executive vice president, a student,
Oh,
should be reaching out and sending emails to your district, to you guys, the advisors, explaining this is what our Helping Hands project is, or we're getting ready to do this drive. We would like your help. They should be reaching out to you and telling you that. Again, every district is different. So you need to have that communication with your district advisor and with your district executive vice president, again, student member, that sits on the board, because they've made these decisions and they just need to push it out to you.
okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so that's the personal business plan and the chapter business plan. Go ahead and read that at your leisure. When you have questions, you can always email me and I'll respond as quickly as I can. The next thing that I did want to talk to you guys about is Envision. So again, on the Florida DECA website is the information for Envision. It's under conferences. This is held November 1st through November 3rd. It does have a max capacity of 400 students. Now, when you have over 13,000 student members in the state of Florida, that means that, you know, not everybody's going to be able to attend this. So there's 400 attendees maximum. It's in Tampa. This page here has all the information about registration. It has the conference packet, housing information, and the agenda. On the first page of Florida DECA's website, They've got like a little Instagram video that you can watch really quick about it and share with your students. Basically, this is run by the student board, Team 67. They have sat down, they have created all of the seminars for your students to go to. It's driven by them, produced by them. It's supposed to be a lot of fun. You'll show up on Friday. You'll have a couple of different seminars that you'll go to. On Saturday, you'll get up another little couple of breakout sessions. Then you guys head to Busch Gardens for the day. You come back to the hotel, you have dinner on your own, and then you have a couple more seminars, and then you have what they're calling DECA After Dark. And then Sunday morning, you wake up, couple more little seminars, you guys hop on the bus and you go home. The conference registration is based on the hotel accommodations. I think it's $225 for 4 people in a room per student. And then you guys are going to have to pay for your transportation as well. So I'm telling my students, if we want to go to this, because we don't have a lot of funding right now, because we're just starting off our year, that if they want to go, they're going to have to pay at least $325 to $350 to attend this conference. So we are in the process of making the decision if we're going to put forth, if they can put forth that type of money to do it, because our chapter doesn't necessarily have the funds to pay for them to go at this time. Each chapter is different. Each district is different. So check with your district advisors, how they're doing it. Check with other schools, how they're putting it together. Check with your county, see if there's any supplements that can help you with that. I don't know, some of you guys may have CAPE funding that could help pay for students to go to this, but it's supposed to be a lot of fun. And like I said, informational, and it's been put on by the students for the students. So all the information is here. I can show you how to do the registration. It's just a Excel spreadsheet, and you just type everything in, and then you upload it to a folder that is connected in that Excel spreadsheet.
Okay, do we have to pay at the same time we enter the Excel spreadsheet? Is the money due at that time, or
You're
when is
going to, let's just go ahead and go in. So if I go into my Envision,
That's one loud toddler.
Yeah,
that one's not mine.
it was mine.
I have a toy Aussie. So
Yeah, he's a big old hound dog.
all right, so this is kind of stalling out and it's not opening.
Okay, I have a follow-up question.
Okay,
For advisors, do we have to pay for the entire room as well? And like, what is the fee schedule for advisors?
okay, so it's opening up slowly. I don't want to quote before I actually see it. I promise you, the Excel spreadsheet is opening up slowly. We're doing so good. Everything was opening up and everything was working great. Now we're going into Slowville.
Yeah, I figured out how to get on the Zoom.
Hey, good. We are waiting for Excel to open up so we can look at the exact pricing of Envision. It's processing right now. But yes, advisors do need to pay. You cannot share a room with students, obviously. So you guys will probably, if you're coming by yourself with 4 kids, then you'll have a room to yourself and the 4 kids will be in a room together. We are, I guess you could say we're old school, girls' room, boys' rooms.
You're when you're going, let's say you have 4 students, is if as a woman teacher, are you supposed to only bring 4 girls? So then you have your own
Technically.
room and then 4 girls?
Technically, I would definitely check with your county about field trip requirements and what is acceptable and not acceptable in your county.
Okay,
I follow what county rules are, not necessarily what DECA's rules are, because county sometimes seems to be a little bit more strict
okay,
than DECA as far as like ratios of chaperones to kids. So
okay,
I want to keep my job, so I make sure that I do what Orange County tells me to do.
for sure, for sure. And what was the deadline again? Because now that I'll check with my county because I didn't even think of going if I'm allowed to go on my own with students. Because trying to find, anyways, yeah. What what's the deadline?
I believe the deadline is September 27th, but payments are due on October 4th. So
Okay.
you guys will be able to see, oh, the deadline is September 24th with your payment due by October 4th.
Okay.
So you can see this is just old school Excel spreadsheet. You guys will come down. Our initial plan at Dr. Phillips was to get 2 rooms, 1 room of boys, 1 room of girls. So I would put down 4 people in this quad. So that 1 room is gonna cost $1,000, $1,020.
I don't
I'm
see
not
the
seeing
Excel
anything.
sheet. Yeah.
You guys don't see that?
No,
Oh, okay. Let me go. I thought if I just pulled it up to where I was, but okay, I'm gonna stop the share, then I'm gonna go to share. Do you guys see it now?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, so it gives you all the information where the payments are to be mailed to, and then you come down here. I just said that I wanted to take a girls' room and a boys' room, 4 in each. So I would be taking 8 students. So technically it would give me 2 rooms, so 8 participants is going to cost me $2,040. Now I need a room of my own because I'm not sharing with them and I'm not sleeping in a car. So I'm a single person. Now, if I have a room of boys and I have a room of girls, I need to have a chaperone that's going to be a boy. So I'm going to need, and I can't room with a boy, and I don't have a significant other, no husband, no nothing to take with me. So I'm going to have to get another room for that male chaperone. Because Orange County would not like me sharing a room with somebody else. So, you put that all in there. It's going to cost us $3,018 to go on this trip. I have not even paid for my bus. If I get a bus that'll seat 50 kids, it's going to cost me $1,500. So 750 there and 750 back. So this trip would cost me $4,500 for 8 students and 2 chaperones to go. So we're in the process of deciding, are we going to put forth that amount of money for 8 students to go when we got competition and we want to be really competitive and possibly have a good amount of people going to state competition and have to pay for those registration fees. So this is something, again, I would talk to your students about. I would tell my kids, the trip's going to cost $350. Can you pay $350? Yes, we can pay $350, Miss Dowd. Okay, cut me your check and then I'll register. But I want money in hand first before I register and have to cut a check out. Don't let these kids say, oh, I'll pay you later. I'll pay you later. Make sure that they pay up front before you schedule anything. Before you pay membership, before you pay competitive fees, before you pay for any hotel fees, any transport, just like a field trip. Make them pay up front. It'll save you later. So once you fill all of this out with your school name, they're going to want you to save it and then drop it into this Envision registration folder. So technically this will open up. I'm hoping it's opening up on your screen as well. And of course, I need to update my browser in order to upload it. Great. But you'll find a folder and you'll just put it into the folder under your school name. So that is Envision. Okay, so we have gone over membership. We've gone over the chapter business plan, the individual business plan set forth by Team 67. We've talked about Envision, showed you guys how to register for that. And now we are at the point where you guys love asking questions about competition. And again, as I said last time, I'm going to say it again, district competition is run by your specific district advisors. If you don't know who your district advisors are, do you guys know who your district advisors are?
Yeah, that's you for me.
Yeah, Meg, that's me for you. Okay, so I will put together a list of district advisors and I will share that with that same email with the upload of the video that you guys can watch of this meeting. But you need to get with your district advisors and see how they run it. As we just heard, District 1 is saying that they are focusing on the test in order to determine who goes on from their district to the state level. District 4 used to focus on the test only to determine who went on from the district to the state level. But we are discussing bringing back role plays in December. So we'll have the test being done in November and then the role play happening in front of a judge in December to add those scores together to determine who's going to state competition. So it's going to be different in each district. There are 35, I think I counted, what we call district events. And those are the ones that have a test assessed to them with a role play, or it's a test assessed to them with a prepared presentation, like the professional selling events, or a test and a paper and a presentation, like the integrated marketing campaign events, or it's just the entrepreneurship, startup or innovation paper. That just has a paper and a role play. So there's 35 different competitive events. Your district is going to dictate how they're going to handle that. When they're talking about written papers, I call them manuals. These are the competitive events where the students write a paper up to 20 pages on a given topic. So your marketing research operations event is on AI and the implementation of AI into a business, or the reconfiguration of the current AI that they are using in that business. So for those papers, the student's going to find a business or organization. They're going to research that business or organization as far as history. They're going to research what they do with using AI. They're going to analyze, is this good, bad, or ugly? They can come up with a plan to either enhance the AI or implement AI into the business. They're going to tell the business how it should be implemented, how much it's going to cost. And once it's implemented, they're going to give recommendations on how to know if it actually is successful or working. Do they need to talk to the business? No, not really, but it is good for them to talk to somebody that is in that business so that they can get a better understanding of the business. So that's your marketing research. You have an entrepreneurship independent plan where you are starting your own business. It has tons of financials in it. You have an entrepreneurship paper that is a franchise where the students decide that they're going to franchise Twisty Treat on the corner of Conway and Hoffner because there's not a single ice cream shop anywhere around there. And that would be good for them to do. So they write up the franchise. You have an international business plan where they decide they're going to start a company or a business in another country. So I tell my students, if you've never been outside the country, don't do that project because you don't know the culture. You don't know the heritage. You haven't lived there. It's going to be very hard to convince somebody that they need to have Taco Bell in India. But why? Well, have you ever been to India? Do you know the customs? Do you know the beliefs? Okay, go ahead and try and start Taco Bell in India. You'll do great. So they really need to know about the country that they're going to put this business in. So I tell them, if you haven't lived in another country or been to another country numerous times, don't do that project. Then you have the project management events. I can go on all night. The project management events, there's 6 different ones. Each one of them, your chapter can submit two project management events in each category. So for business solutions, your chapter can submit 2. For community awareness, your chapter can submit 2. For community giving, it can submit 2. For career development, 2. Financial literacy, 2. All right. The previous events I just told you about, the marketing research, the entrepreneurship independent, the franchise, the international, you can submit 1 for every 25 members that you have registered in your chapter. So currently right now I have 100 students that I need to register. So I can take 4 projects in each one of those categories and 2 projects in each one of the project management events. Have I confused you guys yet? It's a lot of information.
No, but what if you don't have 25 members? Is 1 still permitted if you have less
1
than
is
20?
permitted.
Okay.
When you get to 26, you can do 2. When you get to 51, you can do 3. You just have to have that 1 over. Now, your districts have specific allocations that they can take from the district level to the state level. District 4 can only take 1 allocation in team and 1 allocation in individual. They can take 2 in the entrepreneurships, but each district is different. So if I have somebody on here from District 9, do I have anybody on here from District 9? I think District 9 can take over 10 because their district is so huge. It's based on a percentage. So you want to get with your district advisor again and find out how many kids can be sent from our district in our individual and our team role plays so that you can determine how many you're going to actually send to that district competition. I'm only sending 1, maximum 2, and I think that we decided as a district that you can only send maximum of 2 in each category to the district competition because our district is so large that we'll be doing role plays for days if we don't limit it. So Meg, I'll get with you on that.
Okay.
Things have changed a little bit.
Yeah. I can.
So I'm sorry to ask another question.
Nope, fine. Ask away.
Again, our first year, we're not a class, just a competitive team. And my administration wants me to somewhat limit membership to try to keep it manageable. And also just the way we participate to keep it simple. So is it really just the kind of focusing on those multiple choice tests, or what is the most simple path?
Okay,
Is
so
there a simple path?
there is and there isn't. So if you want to be successful, you're a first year, how much competition do you have in District 1?
There's me and 2 other schools, and they're 3 hours away.
Okay, so you got 3 schools in District 1. I believe District 1 only has 1 allocation from the district level to the state level, which means if each one of your schools, I don't know if you guys put a cap on it, we did because we knew it was going to be absolutely crazy. But if your district allows you guys to test however many kids they want to test in restaurant management, you only have 1 allocation that goes on. So if 15 kids are testing in restaurant management, only 1 can go. What's the point? You want to send your very best to state competition from the district. That's how we have set it up in District 4. So I'm going to send my very best tester in restaurant management to the district level to compete against 14 other schools for that 1 spot.
So there are other tests than just the main 7. There are like sub tests.
Okay, so you've got your different pillars, right? You got your 4.
Yes.
That's, I know we have a picture of it in this book. Okay. So we have this, right?
Yes.
All right, so you got these 4 different areas. So in these 4 different areas, there's numerous of role plays that you guys can do. There's different events.
Mm-hmm.
So it comes up with like, I think we added it up for at the district level in District 4, we would be doing 35 events. We can only send 1 in 28 of those, 32 of those. I can't remember the numbers.
Right.
So, like I said, we play a numbers game
Mm-hmm.
to figure it out. If you are new this year and you just want to kind of test it out,
Yes.
I would have them look at the written events.
Okay.
You have a better
The
shot at the
papers?
written events, the papers. Because with the papers, you guys can sit down and you can write it. You can revise it. And then you submit it, you submit the paper, upload it by January 1. And then that paper is compared to all of the papers that have been submitted across the state.
Mm.
And they pick the top 15 to go to state competition. So if I had a small chapter, I'm going to put my kids on written papers because there's no way that they're going to compete with Eastridge, who's had a chapter for 10 years and knows how to take tests and do role play. My kids don't know how to do that yet. But my kids can write a paper with my guidance.
Right. Okay.
So again, I would advise you to talk to your district advisor and see how they're setting up their district competition. I would talk to
She
them.
told me that we're only doing the multiple choice tests.
Which is fine. That's fine. But how many is he going to allow or she going to allow to compete on that multiple choice test in that specific category, that specific event, to only send 1?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah.
The email that she sent me is, I might as well be reading, a foreign language because I can't, she's like, we've got 55 spots total that we can move on from. But then she broke it down by principal events, this many by district, and then all other events, this many. But I didn't understand because I thought she was just saying we were only taking tests. So I don't know what tests are principal events and what's not a principal event. And
Okay, so this is to answer your question kind of simply. Or not. with those 55 allocations. Okay, those 55 allocations, those are the number of kids that they can take in test, which are individual and team decision-making events. They can only take 55. So she's going to take the top 55 scores from district to state in those categories. If your kids do not have a marketing class or a business class, do not know anything about marketing or business, and they take this test, do you believe that they're knowledgeable enough to be one of the top 55 test scorers or the top in those specific categories?
Probably not.
Probably not. So,
Probably not.
so this is what I would have you do. I would go to DECA Plus. There are sample tests in DECA.
Right. Yes, and that's what we've been doing. We've been doing those practice tests, and we're doing more tomorrow.
Okay. So when you do those practice tests and you do more tomorrow, at the state level, the average score that moves from state to international, the minimum is a 70.
Yeah, she was saying something about if you're not performing at 80%, 80 to 90 in your district, you're not going to do well beyond that.
Absolutely. Totally agree. So do we take the time to have these kids consistently take test after test after test and hope and pray that they get that one spot or two spots? Or do we work on something that we can actually have some sense of control over and be able to revise? That would be my question to
Yeah,
my,
I'll ask her about the paper. I'll email her about that.
and those are in the DECA guide. And
Okay.
you can go to DECA.org, go into competitive events
Okay. I've seen that. Okay.
and go into, it'll say 1 to 3 members on each one of those,
Okay.
20 pages maximum.
Okay.
And like I said, it goes like the tests and the role plays, I call that district. The papers, I call regional
Okay.
because they're compared against the entire state.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
I know it's so confusing and I apologize that it's so confusing. I can only tell you guys what I did as a DECA advisor. I've been a DECA advisor for 25 years now. So, and which is crazy. But I started with a really, really great advisor. I was a co-advisor and learned everything from her. She did not deal with, the individual and team decision-making events. She focused on papers because she was able to implement that into the curriculum as assignments so that she could read and she could revise and she could help the students. And I just followed her lead. We actually didn't really do, and we really don't at Dr. Phillips, we really don't focus on the individual and team decision-making because I implement the papers into our curriculum. So they're already writing the paper for a grade. Omar, do you have a question?
Yes, please, Ms. Dowd, thank you. My name is OG and I'm with IMG Academy in Bradenton, Florida. We're just starting out, and I think similar to the my colleague from Northern Florida, maybe I might have limited access to transport students because we're a boarding school and some other things like that. They really want to do it. They want to do it, and they're so excited. And I don't know anything about business, and I've never taught a business class. I'm an AP social science guy, and I teach like dual enrollment public speaking. Is that will I be able to figure this out?
Yeah,
Do you think so, Miss
yeah,
Dowd?
I do. I do.
Okay.
Yeah. It sounds a lot harder than what it is and a lot more confusing. your DECA guide that you should have gotten in the box along with this book, I call it the DECA Bible. So read through it, just read through it. And then now with DECA Plus having that available to us, take some time just to go in and look at the competitive events, and they have samples of all of the papers. So when you look at the Bible, the DECA Bible, and you look at the outline, and then you're looking at the sample, it'll start to kind of make sense. But you just got to take that time to dive into it and just go, okay, I'm going to take 20 minutes and I'm going to go to DECA Plus and I'm going to see what this marketing research operations event that Dowd was talking about. I'm going to look and see what people have written. You'll notice that these 20-page papers are not old school papers, like left to right, top to bottom, verbiage all over the place. They have graphs, they have charts, flow charts. There are so many applications out there like Canva that have templates all set up that you can like start feeding all the information in to make it look as pretty as those samples do. Don't make it harder than what it is. It sounds like a lot, but hey, I want to start my own business. I want to do a dog grooming business. So I say, okay, that's great. Has anybody done a dog grooming business before? Yes. Has anybody done a mobile dog grooming business before? Yeah. Okay, can you guys look up and see if there's any business plans that are already out there for dog grooming businesses? And they'll search it and they'll go, oh my gosh, I found one. And you're like, yes. Now let's look at the DECA outline for entrepreneurship independent plan. And you'll look and it says executive summary. And that sample has an executive summary and it says introduction, statement of problem. And they'll look at that example and they'll see statement of problem. And they're like, oh my gosh. And it totally clicks. So I'm a visual person. I got to see it. I got to hear it. And then I got to do it to understand it. And I found that a lot of kids are the same way. They have these great ideas like, oh, I want to do a taco truck. Okay. Has a taco truck ever been done before? Nah, miss, it's a great idea. Nobody's ever done it before. I'm like, are you sure? Look it up. And then all of a sudden they've got an entire business plan in front of them of how to start up a taco truck. And now they can look at that outline and they can use what they're seeing that somebody else did and go, well, I want to have my own signature sauce like Tijuana Flats does. So then they add that in and they manipulate things. I have a student, first time ever I get to do a business growth project because the student has to have a licensed business in order to compete in this category. And he's got a pressure washing business, totally legit, making money at 17 years old. So he gets to write this paper about his business and how he is planning to have this business grow and how he's going to hire different crews and how much it's going to cost to buy more pressure washers and how much money he would have to ask for from a bank to invest in his company. So, like I said, take the time to step back from the kids and say, I know you guys are really interested in this. I don't want to give you wrong information. So give me a weekend. And then take some time over the weekend while you're watching football, soccer, whatever, and just go through the DECA guide with your DECA Plus right there and just compare apples to apples. It's going to be the easiest way for you to understand it without us confusing you with all of these names of projects that you have no clue about.
Thank you, Ms. Dowd.
Anybody else?
No.
Are we all good? Again, like I said, I told you, it is a lot of information. It is crazy. I've done this for 25 years. I don't even have all the answers. I have to look things up all the time. I had somebody ask me last week if they could participate in one event and another event. And I was like, I don't know if you can do both of those. And I got the answer for them. So just email me any questions that you have. No question is stupid except for the one that's not asked. And I want you guys to succeed. I want you guys to bring us new members. I want the kids to have a great time. I set my kids up for success, not failure. If I don't think they're going to do good in something, I tell them straight up, it's not for you, baby. Let's find something for you. And they respect that. So
All right. Yeah. Thank you so much, Laura.
you are very welcome. Now, I have not looked at any of the chat, so I don't know if you guys asked questions in the chat or not. Let me scroll down through. I think I answered. No, members do not have to be in your courses to take it. That's something that you can initiate at your school if you want to. But no, there is no requirement that they have to be in a business or marketing class of any type. And I think that's the only question in the chat. So I think we're good.
So Laura, basically right now for us newbies, our main thing is to get our list finalized and then get the membership's fees paid.
Yes.
We can worry about everything else after that, right?
Yes. And that's why I always do my membership in September. I try and have it done by the end of September so I don't have to look back at it. And like I said, you can always add that extra kid that was like, oh man, I really want to be a part of this. I didn't realize it was going to be this much fun, you know, because their friends are talking about it. You can always add them later.
All right, thank you very much.
All right,
Mhm.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.